Hello. Welcome to the Frustrated Grad podcast. I am your host, Zach Hughes, the black dude with bear paws. And I'm welcoming my co host, writer, movie fan, and man who has trouble with shredded meats, Tony Hoffman.
You have bear claws and twink feet.
Bear claws and what?
Twink feet?
What is the twink feet? No,
Twink? Okay, never mind.
I'm not a twink or an otter or what are the other phrases? Seal, I think is one of them. That's when you're all
You
smooth. No, I don't have any of those situations.
have bear claws, so
Yeah,
congratulations.
bear paws, shredder claws. It's what they call them. Shout out to
Awesome.
bear paws, shredder claws. Anyway, I think that was one of
How's
those
your
things that were on sale during Prime Day. So that's how they gained my attention.
Prime Day?
Yeah.
I've realized that I pretty much shop pretty much exclusively at Amazon. Like I would say like 90% of the stuff I buy is on Amazon.
But is that going to change because they are potentially um, uh, bulldozing an entire historical black neighborhood, including their graveyard?
Really?
Yeah, that's the controversy about Amazon lately. I have to
Here in
find
here in
where.
Illinois or elsewhere?
I don't think it's in Illinois. I have to find it, but that's what I've been hearing about this week. And some people want to boycott Amazon for that reason, and that would be pretty hard for me. But it is pretty shitty. Let me see.
They will. Jeff Bezos will offer them like free Amazon Prime for a year, two
Awesome.
day delivery, free
2 day
shipping.
delay. We're gonna ship your dead relatives somewhere else, but you can guarantee it's gonna happen in 2 days or less. Um,
How was your week? Was that
um,
fun stuff?
it's
Horrible
been.
stuff?
Uh, I I felt at times like I've been attacked with bear paws shredder claws, and then at other times I felt like I was um, receiving my brand new day pops in the mail over and over again. So there's been highs and lows. But for anybody watching on YouTube, you may be able to see they're pretty small in the background. But I have my background has been slightly updated. You can see the new day features prominently behind me, in addition to my Super Mario plush figure, who's now sitting next to me, next to my very creepy cat head. Um, so
Creepy is a subjective opinion.
I mean, a decapitated cat head would probably be considered creepy in most circles.
I
Um,
actually
unless
like
you're,
dogs better.
I guess. Um, so how's your week been?
It was a pretty boring, uneventful. My birthday was on Tuesday.
The first.
Aside from getting my free Denny's breakfast, I
Oh,
didn't
so you went and
really.
got your grand slam.
Yeah,
Was
big
that the only
grand.
thing you collected on your birthday, or do you have any of
Like
those other
I
alerts?
had, I had like the options. Like, I mean, I always get my free movie ticket from Classic Cinemas, but
Oh, I didn't know about that. I mean,
yeah, I could have went to like some other place and got like free stuff, but I didn't feel like it. Like I think like Jersey Mike's and like a
oh,
couple other places, you get like a free sandwich or like some free thing with a purchase or something. I was like,
you could have went
yeah, I
and
really
got
want
a
like,
free piece of chocolate cake at Portillo's, one of your
yeah,
favorite
exactly.
spots.
Go all the way to Portillo's to get the cake.
Yeah,
Give me my free shit.
yeah, exactly. I mean, now I have one close to me, so I capitalized on that my last
Nice.
birthday. But
Uh, so yeah, didn't really do much. Just had my cake and ice cream later on. And, yeah,
so you had your cake and you ate it too.
exactly.
Some
Ate too
people
much.
say you can't do both, but you proved them wrong. Um,
I would have like checked out a movie, but boy, man, all these movies fucking suck that are out now.
but what about the Dark
Summer.
Tower? This is-
What about the Dark Tower? I've never read the book, and the reviews for this movie have been horrible.
yeah, it seems like we're on a bad stretch. Like this past like month and a half has it been? I mean,
Yeah, it's like
since
we get Spider-Man.
yeah, it's like Spider-Man: Homecoming was like the last good movie out. I feel. Uh, yeah, I mean, Girls Trip, depending on who you ask. Some people will say it's all right. It was a little obscene, and then some people will be like, "Woo, girl, that was the best movie I ever saw." So it's subjective.
Not really a summer tentpole film though.
No, and plus, I never really considered August part of the summer blockbuster season, but
That's
I
kind of
mean,
like the dumping ground.
yeah, like I think the last good thing for August was Doctor Strange. That was last year, right? I think that was in August, but I feel like most people lump that in with the summer blockbusters.
Remember, I think Guardians of the Galaxy came out in August or
Did it
early
the first
August.
one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this August is we're not quite as lucky. Um, we had Dark Tower. We also had Kidnap, which it seems like Halle Berry likes
Uh,
doing these like types of like B
yeah, it
level
reminded
movies.
me of that the WWE produced
Yeah,
movie.
she was like
Was
a
911
emergency
operator.
operator. Yeah, and then she had to take the law into her own hands. I don't know
Her
exactly how it played.
career, her like career is kind of shit, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, that was at the time when that movie came out. I was like, oh, this is an upgrade for WWE. But then I was like, well, it's a downgrade for
No,
Halle
it's
Berry.
pretty much standard fare for them.
There was, I forgot there was some movie. I think there's a shark movie that she's in. I saw that playing on Pluto.tv. It was just like a terrible movie. I think she's like with all these French people, and then sharks started eating them. It was like weird movie.
All that like Oscar mojo, all that goodwill, just flushed it down the toilet.
I don't know. I hear bad things about Oscar winners. It seems like they. I think it depends on who you are, but like some people, like get very bad roles after winning an Oscar.
Remember, she
Uh,
used like all of her juice to get Catwoman made
oh,
after winning
she
Oscar.
was responsible for that. It's like you know what? Like after this, I want to do a passion project. Let's do Catwoman. Completely nonsensical, disconnected Catwoman story that doesn't have anything to do with the source material.
That
It's been
stupid
my dream.
helmet, cat helmet mask or whatever the
Yeah.
hell, big giant head,
Meow. And I think she
Hello
was
Kitty.
actually doing. I haven't seen it, but I've just seen YouTube videos railing on it. But it's just like she was actually doing like the cat mannerisms, like licking her hand, rubbing her face. Just like this is not exactly the Catwoman.
She has
People
cat
are looking
powers.
for magical cat power. She like plays with a basketball like she's batting it around like a cat. It's just like really this this is a Academy Award winner Halle Berry in a tour de force. Catwoman.
So
Uh,
next week we get Annabelle creation and the
great.
Nut Job too, Nutty by Nature.
I swear. I every time I hear that, I'm just thinking like, I think that's not playing at a normal theater, but apparently it's not some kind of porn parody movie. It's for kids.
So opening wide, yes.
The Nut
I
Job
don't
too.
I don't remember the original Nut Job.
No.
Vaguely, I remember.
Yeah, that Nut Job just passed me by. I completely missed it.
I don't remember it being that successful enough that a sequel had to be
Yeah,
made.
I think it pretty much blew its load in the first week, and then there was no need for a refractory period. Um, Let me see. Oh, so,
Yeah,
uh, so what is
that's
this?
pretty.
What is this about the Wonder Woman DCEU Flashpoint film?
I guess he's just gonna like appear in like all of the DCU films as sort of like
Uh,
the Tony Starkish kind of character. She's gonna be in the Flash,
okay.
a solo movie,
Doesn't I mean
and
there is
and
always that logic hole of like where are the other Avengers in their case, or I guess where are the other Justice League members. So I guess that makes sense logically because she still exists in this world, but doesn't really give Flash time to shine.
mm, well, we already have a Flash on TV, so
Yeah, he's pretty crappy now too.
mm.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah. Well,
speak. Go
this
ahead.
is what happens when your movie is the most successful, most you know praised movie out of these pieces of shit. That
Yeah, the
you got to
only
put
one
their
that's decent.
she's the money maker.
Yeah, but like speaking of like parallels to the MCU, like don't they already have like a character that's supposed to bond all of these movies together? Like where's somebody like Viola Davis from Suicide Squad? Wasn't she supposed to be like their Sam Jackson character, or at least
No,
from that
she was like
end credit
for the
scene?
suicide. Yeah, for the Suicide Squad, I guess, because she gives Bruce Wayne that file or whatever the
That
fuck.
file full of
I'm sure.
information he already had. Just
Yeah, I'm
like,
sure they want to get as far away from fucking Suicide Squad as possible.
yeah, but it's like if you want to get away from failures, you get away from Batman and Superman. Also, it's like you're banking on some failures, but then ignoring others. But I guess, um, yeah. So I guess we'll see how this pans out. Like Wonder Woman, like I said at the time, Wonder Woman being good still gave me no hope for any of these other films. It's just
I
like
mean,
no,
Justice League is still most likely going to be a terrible movie. So
yeah. Like people were, I saw like positive reviews after like that second trailer came out. I was like, nah, it still looks
still look like shit.
dumb. Cyborg still looks like a cartoon character. Uh, doesn't seem to be
Why
any.
the hell Cyborg in this? God, they're just fucking shoehorning him into the Justice League. It's
Yeah, it's like what about like Martian Manhunter
dumb fucking character.
or
I mean, I know
somebody
why he's in the movie. I know why, but
because
still.
he's black. Is that it? Affirmative action hire. Uh,
All your quadrants, you got to make sure all four quadrants, as they say, all the demos.
what? So you got white dudes who are always covered, and you have black people and women. I guess with Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
You got the millennials with Flash. Are we missing something?
something like that.
I don't feel like Flash. This Flash doesn't seem to appeal to kids to me. Just like an awkward.
That's the problem with all these fucking movies. They don't appeal to kids at all.
No, it's just
I don't know who the fuck they appeal to.
like hey, you know these multicolored superheroes that are even more brightly colored than the Avengers, the Justice League, also known to some in some circles as the Super Friends. Like let's make a super dark movie about them.
I mean, I am
Anyway,
encouraged that Joss Whedon is taking over the directing reins, and Zack Snyder is out at this point, and they're pretty much it's gonna be like Jeff Johns and Josh Whedon pretty much spearheading the focus of this universe. So that's encouraging at least.
all right, I guess. All
And
right.
maybe the Batgirl movie will be pretty good. I mean, I'm a fan of Joss Whedon, so hopefully that can turn out to be something good. It's like anything that has nothing to do with the actual Justice League, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but it's so weird. Like all this stuff is connected, but then it's like you have Suicide Squad. It's just like this anomaly. Like, ain't nobody's gonna ever reference these people again, and they were successful at their job. So maybe you should call it these guys too, even though they handled something that was way out of their league and dealing with a magical
And
witch. But
and apparently they're still going on with the sequel to this piece of shit.
like, why do you need them anymore now that the Justice League is back together and Superman is alive again? Wasn't that the thing? Like, oh, we need somebody who's as good as Superman, even though none of these people really have impressive powers. They barely have powers, period. But Superman's back, but we still need the Suicide Squad because I'm gonna manufacture some other threat myself that they have to take out and clean up my mess. But you know, we'll see how that one pans out.
Let's see. Hey, have you been? I know you've been keeping up with the Game of Thrones, right?
Yep, dim thrones, as they say. Yeah, I've been keeping up.
What'd you think of last episode.
I was really excited to see Jon Snow and Daenerys finally meet. It wasn't the meeting I exactly thought, but it was like, well, they're not gonna have like this longing embrace because they don't know
Yeah, I
they're
know these
related.
motherfuckers on like the internet that are like, oh, it's finally happening. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah, it's not like a reunion. They've never met each other, and they have no idea that they're related to each other. And there's like Daenerys has spent like years at this point being distracted, so now she's fully gung ho about moving on with her mission. So she has no time for anybody else's input, especially this stranger who's telling her about zombies. But still hypocritical when you think about like you have dragons. People thought that was make believe. You should probably consider other magical things as a possibility in this world.
That was pretty stupid.
Yeah, it's just like how completely adamant she was. Like, what are you talking about with this made up bullshit? All right, here, dragon, let me feed you a goat. Like, anyway, back to your nonsense. Just like, all right, but I guess he is gonna get his dragon glass, and that's what I always wondered. Like leading up to this, I was like, what's gonna be the priority? Taking out Cersei or fighting these goddamn ice zombies coming from the north? But it sounds like they're probably gonna end up fighting for the throne first, and meanwhile, the
Well,
White Walkers are gonna
if
kill everybody in their path.
you could, you do have the opportunity to go online
Find out spoilers. I do not want to know.
and watch you could just watch the full episode before tonight if you wanted,
So,
because apparently it's been leaked out.
so actual episodes have been leaked. I heard about the script leaking, but there's actual episodes.
Yeah, the episode I think it's called "The Spoils of War." Tonight's
All
episode, and
right,
it leaked out a couple of days ago by some hacker bastards.
you bastards. I mean, I can wait another like 6 hours or
I
so.
swear,
You know,
it's like don't isn't life better when you have something to look forward to?
yeah, it's like I will not confirm nor deny, but I may have watched a previous Game of Thrones leak in the past where there were like 4 episodes leaked, and it would completely ruin the season for me. It's just like, well, I have nothing to watch for the next month. So
So why did you watch them?
it was just like it fell into my lap. It was just temptation. It was too much, but I've learned. I'm older and wiser now. Um, my dragon eggs have hatched. My grayscale has fallen off. I also like that part with Jorah and the grayscales. Like it's almost as if somebody peeled this off and applied an ointment all over your body. Like I don't know about that. Just had a good night's sleep. Just
Yeah,
like yeah,
it was the
gross.
weather.
Yeah, it's been unseasonably warm. Maybe that's what I needed. Uh, but obviously, the Grand Maester knew better. And Sam's reward was making copies. So
Puppies.
there you go. Although I'm
Yeah, I was
sure
thinking
that's
like how is that done? Like you just pretty much just write it
yeah,
down
you
on a
have to
fresh
rewrite every
scroll.
word in these individual scrolls. So that sucks. Like you think your job's bad.
Better
Um,
than fucking cleaning shit and
yeah, the poop soup
gagging.
duty. um, but yeah, he's at least he's probably gonna get some. There's probably some important information that he's gonna come across in these scrolls. Uh, that's what everybody thinks. Like, oh, there's gonna be some other um, inside info that he's running across, but we'll see. Because those are probably
Uh,
those documents from that secluded Doctor Strange library area that he was not allowed in. So it's probably some of
the
that stuff in
forbidden
there.
section.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, if he had one of those sling rings, could just reach right in, grabbed it while the librarian was listening to Beyonce on some headphones. Um,
I know that tonight's going to be very difficult for you because Game of Thrones is going to be going up against Sharknado 5 Global Swarming on the Sci-Fi
yeah, I just
channel.
don't know what to do. Like, it's, I mean,
You
it's the
love, you got to get your Ian Ziering and Tara Reid fix.
no. Wait, is I think it's Ian also. But is he the same guy who has been in there since the first Sharknado movie? He survives
They
every time.
both they both have.
That's uh, how do you survive? What, three previous Sharknados, or is this the fifth one?
Sharknado 5,
Yeah, so
global warming.
they survived four of these before. That's pretty impressive. Um,
It's pretty pathetic, actually.
yeah, there's so many things to consider. I have to also consider The Strain, which also airs tonight. Uh, I guess I can watch Wet Hot American Summer anytime, but that's also an option because I
Twin
really enjoyed.
Peaks.
Well, I I've heard that you don't really get an appreciation for it unless you've seen the entire original series as well as the movie Firewalk with Me. So like that's a lot of preamble to do before
Got a
this
David
weird
Lynch, I
show.
know.
Yeah. Um yeah, you have
Apparently,
to understand why she's talking backwards.
for all the hype, nobody's really watching Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it's just like I think the people who are really into it and who were really loud and outspoken when Wayward Pines debuted, like, oh, this is just a rip off of Twin Peaks. Like all those people apparently just got over it before this premiered. So, like, how is this Sharknado explained for a fifth time? It's just like, aren't you out of sharks at this point?
Yeah, it was in the zeitgeist when the first one came out, and then all of a sudden they had to keep making sequel after
Diminishing
sequel, and
returns.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
just
Yeah,
like, hey,
I,
let's trend on Twitter again. Slap this movie together. We got 5 days.
I don't like these like sci-fi like purposely shitty movies that they make where
Yeah,
they're
that's why I have a problem with Z Nation. That's the
it defeats the purpose of a bad movie.
yeah. It's like let's do this on purpose. You stop, like part of what makes a bad movie good is when you see the seams. Like if they're trying to be serious and then you can see they're clearly
The
botching things.
sincerity and just like the sort of effort of actually trying to make something good, and then it
Yeah,
just
it's like
turns into shit.
yeah, it's like those like when you see a movie where it's like the boom mic gets into the shot or there's continuity errors, like somebody's holding an ice cream cone and then you
But it's
switch to
bad
the other
acting,
scene
bad
and then they're
writing.
not holding it and then switch back they're holding it again. That type of stuff is stuff that people enjoy, but when you see somebody just twirling a boom mic around in the background, it's like, oh, they're clearly
Yes.
self-aware. I've lost interest. Um, yeah, so I don't I don't anticipate watching this one. Plus, I haven't seen the first four, so
No, I've seen like little bits and clips of
I
it,
feel
and
like I'd be lost.
it looks like the typical sort of sci-fi, you know, cheap monster movies that they've been known for.
Yeah, and Asylum is the people who produced those, and they're like I said, they're the same people who do Z Nation. They're also the people who've done those like mockbuster movies like Transmorphers or
Yeah, I remember you told
Atlantic
me.
Rim. Yeah, it's just like
Shitty.
shitty movies.
I read that that Ziering makes like a significantly more amount of money than Tara Reid does. That's kind of shitty. And
I
then
mean, yeah, because
apparently
they're both shitty actors.
she brought it up to the producers, and then they like threatened to like replace her, which is also kind of shitty.
Yeah, so I guess she caved because she's back for this one. Um, yeah, I mean, it was either this or go back to Celebrity Big Brother. It's not very many
That would have
options
been
for Tara Reid.
it definitely would have been like more higher profile, more viewers.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you'd be
I
trending on
question
Twitter
her
more
decision.
likely on Celebrity Big Brother than you would on the fifth edition of Sharknado.
Hey, there was a. Did you even know that there was a remake of Death Wish that's coming out, starring Bruce
Talking about the
Willis?
Charles Bronson epic Death Wish.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard about it this week. It's weird with that you would remake one of those like '80s action type movies.
70s.
Well, really, but like
Yeah.
even with somebody who was around at that time, it's just like you would expect when they're gonna reboot something like this, it would be like the new young hot action star like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I mean, he's always like the first choice for any of these ideas, but like doing it with Bruce Willis is kind of just makes me think, why didn't you like what's going on with Charles Bronson? Is he
Well,
still
Charles
kicking?
Charles he's dead, but
Okay,
when he did the original, he was like in his 50s, and
all right,
getting up there, and that was the whole like the whole setup of the film was that this guy gets his family gets murdered, and he becomes like a vigilante out for revenge. And I guess that he was, I don't know if he was like an army guy or some sort of tough guy, but he was
he
obviously
had a
like well
certain set of
trained. And
skills.
yeah, and that's what this movie is sort of like born out of, this sort of like this genre of like white guy, you know, this sort of these, some people are calling it kind of alt right film of like these white guys going out
Yeah,
killing people,
like
you know.
I'm taking my justice into my own hands.
Yeah,
You could
exactly.
you could
And
take my gun once you pry 'em out of my cold dead fingers.
that's what this people are criticizing this trailer. Eli Roth is the director of this shitty
Scooter.
looking thing, and
Yeah,
people are like, oh, this whole movie is just American carnage fantasy, and it's racist, and it's just white guy killing a bunch of black and Latino people.
as you do. I mean,
And,
it's realistic. That's what I can say about it. Um, yeah, it feeds into a lot of people's uh, deepest desires, especially they're being expressed a lot lately. So this is probably the perfect time for this. This is what you get in Trump's America. Uh, from Obama's death panels to Trump's death wishes. Uh, Death wishes and caviar dreams. So I mean, I probably won't be checking this out, but I
it
was,
opens November 22nd.
yeah, I was not a an avid viewer of any of those
Neither
previous
was
movies, any of those like Death Wish or any of those like Steven Seagal movies. It was a lot of those.
hard to kill.
Yeah, yeah, it was not really my genre.
I did have an affinity for the Jean Claude Van Damme film, the
I
kickboxer,
mean, what
shit
was
like
he
that.
murdering people in his movies? It seemed like it was just a lot of kickboxing.
Yeah, it was more like a defense than anything. He was like actively like trying to kill people.
You know, like blowing people's heads off and stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, it seemed like his was more about the artistry, about the martial arts, the counter splits. Um,
The dancing.
yeah, yeah. So speaking of remakes, sequels, reboots, and ripoffs, there's another one in the news. In an unlikely uh, scenario, YouTube Red is so this is a sequel series to the Karate Kid, right?
That's what it appears to be.
Yeah.
Daniel's son.
So it's gonna be called Cobra Kai. This is what I've heard. Uh, so aren't those the bad guys? Cobra Kai. Uh,
I I guess I
Cobra
haven't
Kai, do
actually.
or die, something like that. But yeah. So this we're gonna follow up on those characters 30 years after their intense tournament fight. Uh, so yeah, that's it's gonna be interesting to see a bunch of old white dudes doing karate. Uh,
It's they're describing it though as a half-hour comedy, so I'm not sure how
I mean,
things
I
are
guess
going to
that
play
makes more
out.
sense in the vein of like I would say something like Wet Hot American Summer, but that was following up on a comedy. But this is like just a weird way to get that nostalgia bump while acknowledging there's no reason for this. So I guess that's they're like, oh, aren't these the guys old and stupid for continuing this feud 30 years later? So I guess that could
Yeah,
keep
the
people's attention.
premise is that Daniel is struggling with the loss of his mentor and sensei, while Johnny Lawrence, the bad guy from the first movie, who is also having his own struggles in life, decides to reopen his old dojo, the Cobra Kai. Their childhood rivalry soon heats up.
He's mourning over the loss of Mr. Miyagi. So
Yeah.
shouldn't he have been dead like for most of those 30 years that this has passed? Because he was pretty old in the first one. Uh,
I mean, Pat Morita died, what, like maybe 10, 9 years ago?
yeah, so uh, I guess maybe they're adjusting the timeline, but I would say if you're going along with that, this is 30 years after the original movie. They've spent 30 years away. I guess they're saying he lived longer, but you probably should be over that by now. But anyway, uh, so yeah, they're still waxing off. Uh, so I guess I guess we'll see what happens with this. All you YouTube Red subscribers, I know there's literally dozens of you out there. Um,
Well, yeah,
so
I subscribed to YouTube Red only because I you had the whole skipping the commercials, and you could like
yeah,
listen to YouTube outside of the app.
yeah, I
But
enjoyed
you
that, but
know,
then I realized, hey, this is something that shouldn't be paid for.
exactly.
Like, why
It's
can't
like
I
I'm
just?
paying $10 for Netflix. I'm paying $10 for Spotify. I got paying $10 for this.
Yeah, I'm paying $10 for the privilege of being able to turn my screen off while I play YouTube. Like, this seems a little excessive.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I only had YouTube Red slash Google Play while it was free. They do that pretty much once a year around Christmas, New Year's time. So I've had that free deal for 3 months at a time, but never again.
Sonsy bitches.
Yeah. So
Are you very disappointed that Robert Pattinson has not gone method in his next role, where he decided he won't pleasure a dog?
what? Um, I need more context. So his role involves pleasuring a dog.
Yeah,
Uh,
I guess he was on like Jimmy Kimmel, and he talked about there's a scene in which he's quote unquote sleeping with a dog. The director of Good Time told him to just do it for real, man. Don't be a bleep.
I
He
thought
stood
Good
his
Times was
ground.
about keeping your head above water and making a wave when you can.
Temporary lay.
Good Times.
Good time.
Yeah.
He stood his ground, and they made a. I guess they sort of worked around it, but
Did they do a CG
yeah,
dog? Like, okay,
I don't
just
know, man.
just chew on this green hot dog and we'll fix it all in post. Um, I don't.
They made like a fake, I guess, dog penis for him to jerk off. Oh, it was terrible.
What? Who wants this? Who greenlit this in the first place? It's just like. Plus, like, I hate that they're using the term "sleeping with a dog." It's like I don't
Yeah,
think anybody's sleeping in this situation. It's probably a lot of yelling and barking going on.
yeah. It's like we have to like know like what the context of the scene and what his character is. And
Yeah. Plus, don't you know
it's
that
like,
when you lie with dogs, you get up with fleas? That's
yeah.
that's what I've always been told. But yeah, this I'm not really interested in anything having to do with bestiality. That's why I didn't see Beauty and the Beast. Uh, so I count
So
me out.
the name of this, okay, the premise: after a botched bank robbery lands his younger brother in prison, Constantine embarks on a twisted odyssey through the city's underworld in an increasingly desperate attempt to get his brother out of jail. Over the course of
Wait,
one
what?
night, Constantine finds himself on a mad descent into violence and mayhem as he races against the clock to save his brother and himself, knowing their lives hang in the balance. Good time.
Wait, where does dog masturbation fit into this
I
storyline?
don't know.
Like, if you want to prove you're not a cop, you gotta jerk off this dog. Like, I think you've gone a little bit too far, gangster friend of mine. Yeah, that does not sound like a good time. Uh, that's one of those. That's probably the real story behind those things you would occasionally see written on bathroom stalls, like for a good time, call this number. Like, yeah, what you're really getting out of this is jerking off a dog. If that's what you're into, call that number. So,
I mean, the film is getting a 94% approval rating based off of 33 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. So
I can see there being 33 weird dog fetishes out there. So,
I think that this is that's a very small part of this show.
well, it's the only part I know about at this point. They're making it seem like this like one night odyssey, a la like some great epic movies like the Trojan War, but this is taking a slightly darker turn. Instead of a
Yeah,
kid
like
just looking for a condom for the night, he's
I
trying to
guess
get his brother out of jail by jerking off a dog.
it's been compared to I guess Al Pacino's performance in Dog Day Afternoon. If you've ever
Pun
seen that, have
intended.
I?
I haven't seen Dog Day Afternoon, but I like the selection of movie though. Dog Day Evening. This is the logical sequel to that. Well, I would say that I guess without knowing the context, I can't judge, but I don't know if I'll ever learn the context.
Okay, so I guess like during in the interview, he goes, "Okay, oh God, I don't know if I can say this." Said the Twilight Story. There's a lot of things in this movie which really cross the line of reality. It's not even on the line; it's way beyond the line. Pattinson continued.
I mean, I think
There
it's
were
realistic. It's just creepy.
there was initially this scene. I don't think I should say this, but it's like my character Connie has this affinity with dogs. There's this one scene which we shot, which basically there's a drug dealer who busts into the room and I was sleeping with the dog. He claimed adding the scene showed a sex act occurring.
So it wasn't
The
even
actor
like
had
a
major
necessary
reservations about
thing.
the explicit scene. I asked the trainer because the director was like, "Just do it for real, man." And then the dog's owner was like, "Well, he's a breeder. I mean, you can." Pattinson put his foot down and said, "No, I didn't agree to do the real one." He admitted.
Jesus Christ. So it's not even like this is a thing had to do to survive. Or like he has to sneak into a gangster's house and jerking off this big dog is the only way to get past him. But it's just like, oh, this is a character trait. This is your antagonist here. One of his quirks is that he's into dogs. He's a dog person. Um, yeah.
PETA has praised him for refusing to masturbate a dog.
Can you praise an actor in a movie that you're also going to rail against when it comes out? Because it's just like they're going to be against this movie in general, I would assume, for its
Why
depiction
would
of
they be
dog
against?
masturbation.
Why would they be against it?
Do they want to encourage people to masturbate dogs? I know there's necessary reasons for expressing the anus, but I don't know if dog masturbation is quite as necessary. Uh, anyway, I mean, I guess if they can have a joke about a guy jerking off a bull in the Power Rangers movie, then they can do this. Because that was literally the first joke of the Power Rangers movie. Like, oh, I just milked that cow. I was like, what are you talking about? There's only bulls here. So that's the thing.
I've heard.
Yeah, literally like one of the first lines of the movie. I was like, oh, this is not your father's Power Rangers. Maybe it is your father's Power Rangers. Depends on who your father is. Anyway,
Do you want to
um,
read the BuzzFeed story that I have in our show notes?
um, I'll let you take that
No,
one.
go for it. Go for it. I've been
So,
hogging all of the.
what is this? The okay. Well, you know BuzzFeed for its famous listicles. So here's a list for you. Uh,
I'm not
so
exactly sure. Like, what is it? Is it like a condom replacement or?
So I guess the title of the story is you probably shouldn't put the sticker on the tip of your penis during sex. So it seems like maybe this is supposed to be yeah, some kind of like condom replacement that only prevents pregnancy basically or any STDs that you can get from fluid transfer. Although you can still fully engulf yourself in a herpes tsunami because
Yeah.
you're completely uncovered. But I guess this thing is supposed to just keep you from ejaculating into the woman, and you get all the feeling that you're desperately craving. Uh, I have another solution to this. Before we get into the story, like, how about you just get married and go as raw as you want, as often as you want? It's the solution. All right,
But
so
you
the
want to prevent
instruction.
having kids.
Hey, you can be married without having kids. Uh, anyway, like, have you ever, if you were ever checked out Portlandia, you would know that there's a very prolific pull-out master whose lessons you need to probably take heed of.
Last minute.
Like, everybody knows I'm the pull-out king. Um, anyway, oh, now I'm just thinking about Portlandia. There's a couple of like good pull-out jokes in Portlandia. Uh, Fred and Carrie, who Carrie who's clearly a lesbian in real life, and Fred who like they were just best friends, but they decide they want to have a baby together, and then they're like being very like robotic with the way they are trying to do this. Like, okay, I'm just gonna put it in, then out, then in, then ta-da. Then he's like, you just finished on my stomach. It's like, oh, I'm just so used to doing that. All right, let's try it again. And then he does it again. But it's hilarious. Anyway, so with this, you're supposed to clean the tip, as which is good advice in general. Clean the tip, align the shield, which is what the WWE is trying to do right now. Bond to the skin, and enjoy real sex. Real sex with the
Enjoy.
sensation of a bottle cap over your dick.
Yeah,
um,
I like the little animated guide that they provided.
I mean, whatever happened to good old bananas? Like, I don't need to see this. This is not for children. Uh,
Now I'm not kind of sure if this is even real. I don't I don't know
I
if this is a
I
hoax
feel
or.
like I feel like even if it is real, it's not gonna get any traction. So it's just gonna be one of those things that that dies on the vine. It's like I like the tweets they're showing under here. Like, y'all putting stickers on the tip of your meat now. Really? Yeah, that's what's hot in these streets. That's why I always use that. Like, that's what's hot in these streets right now. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not partaking in any of this. Yeah, like I said, you want to go raw, just put a ring on it.
Raw.
You want to take a condom off it, put a ring on it. So Jiffy Tip is the name, by the way, which is great.
Saran wrap.
Uh, I don't know if that would quite work for this. I hear it makes a great dental dam. If you ever watch Booty Call, that's where I learned about that trick. Uh,
Oh God, I remember watching that movie
yeah,
back
I
in the
think it came
day.
on recently. Oh no, the one I'm thinking about is Def Jam's "How to Be a Player." That came on like local TV
What, what was the
a
name
week
of
ago.
Jamie Foxx's character? Buns.
I think so. Uh, Buns. Just thought it
Just
was,
stupid hair.
yeah. Uh, yeah. So use if you're in the market for some anonymous uh, questionable sex, then this is probably not your solution. You probably want to be fully covered.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
And you could just like save your money, just get like those little stickers that the kids have, the little happy smiley face.
Well, like those puff paint stickers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you get a gold star, and it's. I mean, the good thing about that is that it's ribbed for her pleasure. Like, oh, those hard edges feel so good. Um,
You get a
yeah,
gold star.
yeah, over and over again. Yeah, I'm not gonna be shopping for any Jiffy tips anytime soon.
I'm just trying to figure like what happens when you like, you know,
Take it off.
go.
I mean, you're probably gonna have to do it like a band-aid in one smooth motion, and just prepare some gauze and maybe some rubbing alcohol to clean up the bloody mess that's left behind afterward.
But
Uh,
like, but isn't it gonna like clog up or like close the
yeah,
hole?
because it's like
Okay.
gonna you're gonna have a retrograde ejaculation, which I learned about on Loveline, which is not good for you at all.
No,
Uh, I mean, does this thing inflate like a balloon when you're finished? That's the only
I
way I
don't
can
think
see
so.
this not being dangerous, potentially infection causing
Yeah,
collapse.
talk about leaky pipes.
I mean, you would kind of want your pipes to leak in this situation. You're gonna get backed up, and uh, there might be a pipe explosion at some point. But I mean, let the doctor sort that out. If your Jiffy Tip has been on for longer than 4 hours, please consult a plumber. All right, that was
So I was gonna, on that note, I was gonna ignore any like Lollapalooza stuff because I don't care. I'm not a big outdoor music fest guy. So have you? Were you considering going this year? Do you
no.
care?
I I
Are you a,
I don't have the money for that type of stuff.
are you a fan of anyone? I know Chance the Rapper was the big headliner last night. All
Great.
the hip young white kids were
Yep.
very excited.
Yeah, I'm very happy for them. Enjoy. Yeah, I wouldn't. That wouldn't have brought me out anyway.
Fuck no.
Uh, yeah, I don't want no problem. Want no problem with him. So, uh,
You didn't want to get rained on Friday.
yeah, I was thinking
Uh,
about that. I was like, that's when it started, and it was just like, just I would not want to be outside during that. The little bit that I was outside, uh, I couldn't think of the idea of just standing outside with a bunch of other people who are probably sweaty to begin with, and dealing with the
Lord's performance got
mosquitoes.
cut 20 minutes after 20 minutes.
All right. They didn't have any kind of like precautions for that. Like you don't have a canopy that you could put over the stage or anything. Ponchos, something.
They care about the talent. They don't want the talent to get electrocuted and rained on and shit.
Well, like in all these years that people have been using electric instruments, there's no kind of waterproofing situation they've figured out. Uh, Plus, why did you need to have your stage uncovered? Like everybody else is enjoying the outdoors. You don't really have to be completely under the elements. It's not smart planning. What are you thinking,
What's the
Perry
point of being
Farrell?
outside then?
Uh, I mean, like everybody else is outside. The performer is your dancing monkey. They can be in whatever situation.
You want them in literally a cage or some sort of encased
I rather
covering or
I rather see them with maybe a slight shadow above their heads than completely canceling the concert because they can't get their equipment wet. It was like they should have planned for this. Uh, uh, I'm 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 very upset with Perry.
I'll go complain.
Yeah, that's why I don't partake in outdoor festivals because I can stand the rain, but apparently they can't. That's
All
why
right.
I'm wondering if there's ever been a performance of the New Edition song "Can You Stand the Rain" that was interrupted by rain. That'd be a very interesting thing to find out.
Or Missy Elliott.
Yeah, I mean, if she didn't power through that, then I would completely have lost respect for her. Like, you you literally are talking about this in your song, and you just proving yourself a hypocrite. Anyway, yeah, I can't think of anybody who would bring me out to deal with that type of environment. Like anybody I like that much. Like I've been to several Childish Gambino performances, but I don't even think he would bring me out for an outdoor festival.
You didn't want to deal with the 12 arrests and 128 medical transports in the
No.
first few days.
Yeah, I was having a hard enough time avoiding the police this weekend myself. And nah, I, I'll abstain from that.
What happened there? What avoiding police?
I mean, it's just
Or are you just talking
it's
in
like people
general?
people were getting pulled over left and right Saturday when I was out. It was just like every time I would come back from whatever store I was going to. I was like, oh, there's somebody else pulled over. There's another one. Just like, all right, let me get in the house. This is not. This atmosphere is not it's comfortable for me right now.
Well, you had your issue with your cell phone this past week. A
Yeah,
suspected thief,
at
theft
Tilly's
arrested.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Don't go to Tilly's. We are not
Apparently,
sponsored.
someone stole 60 cell phones at Lollapalooza alone.
I mean, that always happens at these concerts, and it's dumb because like I think what was the last one? I think Coachella was the last one. They had like a major arrest of a guy who had like at least 100 cell phones in his possession, and police tracked him by just tracking one of the iPhones that he had. So it's really not
Yeah, I
smart.
remember that.
Yeah. So a word of advice from somebody who should have known better: leave your location on your phone, and leave data connected all the time because you want to be able to track that phone when it disappears. So,
So
word of advice for
you're gonna miss
everyone.
you're gonna miss Big Sean tonight.
Boy, boy, no thank you. Um, I'm, I'm Big Sean's hit or miss with me. There's some songs I like, but most of them I could care less. So, uh, he he won't miss me in the audience. Yeah, and like that's what I was saying. I can't think of anybody who's like I have to see that
Lil,
badly that I would deal with
Lil
that.
Yachty, Lil Yachty.
Also known as Little Boat. I'm not
Yes.
I'm not a mumble rap enthusiast, so no, thank you. I don't I don't even understand that genre. That's another thing that makes me just feel like I'm getting old because it's just like what is this?
Not a big fan of a Ray Streamerd.
Shrimmered. Uh,
Shrimmered.
I think backwards it spells was it eardrummers?
Derm. Yeah.
Eardrummers, I think is the
Ear drummers.
yeah. Not really. The, the only thing only song I know from them off the top of my head is that Mannequin Challenge song, and still, it's it's whatever. It's not my first go to if we're gonna put something on. So no, thank you, for that. If you tell me Migos is gonna show up, then maybe I'll check them out. But
Are you familiar with the rapper Slack?
no, not at all. Slack. Isn't
Six
that
Slack.
isn't that an alternative to like how we put our show together in Google Docs? Isn't that what people use? Slack.
I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not up on the Slack business. So
Sure.
nah. Anyway, any other pressing news you want to hit on from this week?
Yeah, the biggest news story of the week that we didn't even mention until now.
What's that?
Eva Marie has left the WWE.
Oh my god. I don't. I mean, I expected it for a while. She was suspended, then she changed her hair color, then
She's got a movie
she's
career.
been yeah she's been seen anywhere other than WWE. So I pretty much assumed this was happening anyway. So much like probably what's gonna happen with Summer Rae, because just she shows
At
up
least
in
she's been
China and random
at least she's
places.
been like at the events backstage and stuff. Like she's still kind of affiliated
I
with them.
guess. But yeah, I didn't see anything differently happening with this. So yeah,
What will you remember the most of Eva Marie?
I remember her non wrestling push um as the beginning of the brand split happened, and then we never got any
It's like they figured
conclusion
out a
on
way
that.
to like use her. It was kind of entertaining actually.
Yeah, and then it just completely went off the rails when she could no longer appear. It's like, all right, she's really living this gimmick. She's never gonna wrestle. So I guess they followed through in their own way. So,
I will remember her giving Carmella a concussion in NXT.
all right. Memories. Good times. Jerking off the dog of a drug mule.
Good
Trying to
times.
get your brother out of jail.
Good times.
All right.
Ain't we lucky we got him?
Dun, 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 dun. CGI dog dicks. Anyway,
Damn, damn, damn.
if there's nothing else, then we could probably wrap up for the week. So,
You got nothing? 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 Nothing?
nah, I don't think so. I feel like I'm pretty tapped out. My pipes are drained. My jiffy tip is falling
Jiffy tip.
off. It's just so gross. Anyway, uh, so let people know where they can reach out to you during the week on the socials of media.
Twitter at Anthony Hoffman. Facebook Anthony Hoffman. Instagram Tony Hoffman Chai. Tony Hoffman CHI.
All right. You say your Twitter is Anthony Hoffman, but not
Mm-hmm.
as I suspected. Tony likes poop. That's somebody else.
No.
Okay. I I thought you guys were affiliated. Anyway, I
I
am
can't reveal. I can't comment on any of that.
all right. He's neither confirming nor denying. And
Exactly.
with that, I will say I'm on the Twitter at Zach Reviews. That's ZAC Reviews. I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/Zach Hughes and facebook.com/Zach Hughes. Both ways spelled ZAC Hughes. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Frustrated Grad, on YouTube at youtube.com/Frustrated Grads. And you can check out the audio version of the podcast on Google Play Podcasts, iTunes, and wherever else you get your podcasts. So, with that, I will say go out there and give us some feedback, please. You can post it on any of our uh, social medias. You can post it on Facebook, Twitter. You can go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review. But if you really want to go the extra mile, then you can go to frustratedgrad.com and donate by clicking that PayPal button. So with that, I will say thanks for watching. If you're watching the video version on YouTube or whatever other video platform I might post this to, thank you for listening if you're listening on the podcast. And that's all you get for today.